Let us record. Okay, now I have the button. Okay,
Okay.
the recording.
Oh,
And
excuse me, I have a question. I'm so
yes,
sorry.
go ahead.
Renee, I have a question for you, if you don't mind. So I signed up for May 3rd for the engagement management with young children.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot if I actually wrote my email down.
Oh, you know what? Just shoot me an email with your name and the presenter, and I'll make sure I connect you, and we'll make sure you get your certificate.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so
Okay.
here we go.
I think
I'm
we're
going
ready,
to,
right?
yes, I'm going to put it in the, what is it called? The slide presentation mode. Okay,
Thank
there we
you.
go. All right, and I think I got too many things going on here. Okay, all right.
Thank you so much, Rose. I really appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Early Math Institute presentation, Development and Research in Early Math Education, a collaborative project of Stanford and UCLA presented by Child Development faculty. We are so happy to have you here with us today this afternoon. My name is Elmida Baghdaserians. I'm a professor of child development from Los Angeles Valley College. I'm here with my dear colleagues, Dr. LaTanga Hardy from LA Trade Tech, and she is also the Child Development Center Director at that particular college site. We also have here, you've been hearing Dr. Rose. She is the chair of child development at LA Trade Tech as well. And we are all not only colleagues in the same college district, but we are also faculty members who are part of a really special program called PEACH, which stands for Partnership in Education, Articulation, and Collaboration in Higher Education, where faculty from across California come together to work on alignments, to work on sharing and collaborating so that we can make experiences for our college students seamless and wonderful and with continuity and consistency. Next. So the Early Math Institute, just to give you a little more details about what we've been able to take part in and what we've learned from our experiences, which we will share with you today. This workshop presentation will feature child development faculty who were selected to participate in the prestigious Early Math Institute Development of Research in Early Math, a collaborative project of UCLA and Stanford, as mentioned earlier. Faculty will share the project's focus, which was equity gaps, teacher preparation, and teaching resources. Our experiences with the Institute, along with focus on resources and takeaways. And we hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
All right.
So some of the new evidence that we wanted to share with you that we've taken from this research project that we've been part of, compared to literacy and social emotional development, at kindergarten entry, early math concepts were the most powerful predictors of later learning. This is really powerful because for those of you who've been studying child development, studying education, taking courses, learning about children, especially young children, we've always known that early literacy is very important. But what these researchers at UCLA and Stanford have found is that math is actually such a strong indicator of school success. Also across the nation, most children who have low math skills in kindergarten continue to lag behind their better prepared peers throughout their school years. The least prepared and lowest performing are disproportionately children from low-income families and children of color. Additionally, children with developmental delays and disabilities often struggle in math throughout their school years due to lack of appropriate instruction. Any serious effort to close the achievement gap needs to include children before school entry and in the early elementary grades.
Okay, so this is wonderful because we do have a poll question, Alameda. Can we do this poll question real quick and poll people? Because one of the most wonderful things to ask you is the first question here, okay? How would you rate your math teacher? 1 being low and 5 being the highest, okay? So how would you rate your teacher? Then you can go from the teacher that taught you math for the very first time, maybe in early childhood, maybe it's a current teacher that you have in college. How would you rate them? So we are giving you a chance to get this question answered. Do you see the poll, everybody, or no?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, you can see it.
Thank
So
you. We can
put
see it.
your answer. Okay, I worry about these. Okay, wow. We have people that saying excellent, good. My goodness, 50%. You know, and some people lowest. Yes, I had a terrible, terrible math teacher. She put me in the corner all the time, you know. And so I'm happy to see the results. Let's go. I'll be closing the polling soon. Get your answer in. It's anonymous. Okay, so we want at least 43 people to vote. So let's go. We have 43. It's like asking 5 questions. Okay, all right. So I guess it didn't go one at a time, which I was hoping to do. So I was hoping to get the questions one at a time. Okay, answer as many as you can. We'll just go. Are you interested in learning more about math? Okay. I didn't, you know, I was so excited putting the questions, I must have missed something. All right, so I'm gonna end the polling. I think we've got about 27. Actually, let's go up to 30, you know, since we're answering so many questions. I'm sorry about this, guys. It worked really well last time, but we're getting the questions answered. Okay, so we're looking at it right now. We have average, good, excellent for the first question, where people felt that their teachers did the best that they could. We have many of them saying good and average, okay? And Lorna Turner says she wants to learn more about teaching early math. Yes, this is why we're here. We're gonna show you some wonderful tools. As an educator in higher ed, in teacher preparation programs, how comfortable are you teaching early math? Wow. 64 people said they are. Okay, that's good. I'm happy about that. How about you, LaTanga? How did you feel about that result?
I love it. I'm loving this.
Yes. And then we have which module from the DREAM, and we haven't been able to take you to the site yet, but there's different, you know, modules. There's accounting module, there's spatial relations, there's operation, there patterns and measurement. We probably will look at this question again. And then, are you interested in learning more about math, early math? Oh my God, look how many people said yes. Can you believe this, Elmida? I mean, were you expecting to see that many people interested in early math?
It's
you know,
really
I wonder,
fantastic.
yes, I wonder why people are interested in early math. I mean, I'd be curious for anybody to answer me that question in the room. Why are people more interested in it now more than ever?
I would say that I'm interested in learning early math because I want to work with kindergarten students. I want to work with elementary students, and I know that's a given. You have to know early math, you know. So
Yes.
I would say it's a given. You would have to really know it.
Okay, thank you.
Can't teach students anything you don't know.
That's true. That's true. Did you have a good teacher, Miss Vera? Did you love your math teacher when you were young?
Well, I was in special education classes, so I got extra time on my multiplication test and things like that. But I wish she could have done better. I wish teachers can always do better, but I feel like she did all right. I mean, I know how to add, but you know, you can always improve.
Yes. Thank you so much for your answer. We're going to take one more. There's a hand up. Dominique Roberts, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
I think that early math is important because it is the foundation to other subjects as well. If you can master math, then it makes science and engineering and other applications a lot easier for the children to understand and take with them to their through their future.
Thank you so much. And there's a lot going on in the chat, guys. Great point. I think math is for daily life. People have said, I think because we think it's easy to do, until we have to teach it. Yes, Sabrina. People think, oh, I can teach math. It's just counting with children. No. We're going to find out in this workshop. It's a lot more. So I'm going to go back to the slide presentation, but I do want to say thank you to all the people who put their ideas in the chat. This is what this is. Please engage with us. It's going to be very dry if we're just talking about the slides, but when you participate, ask questions. We're monitoring that we're 3 of us, so we can handle your questions, okay? So I'm going to just shoot back. There's a new message. I'm going to read it very quickly. Oh, for academic, yes, math is part of daily life. Yes, I have stories to tell you about that. So let's just go back. I'm going to move the slide presentation. Hopefully people are taking good notes. Here we go. So what are objectives, LaTanga? What really are the objectives of early math?
So our objectives, we're going to talk about our objectives today. And I love seeing in the chat how many people were engaged in early math and wanting to know more about early math. And I think what's stated also in the chat was, when you know something, you're better able to teach it, right? So let's talk about some of our objectives. One of our major objectives is improve early math learning for children. We know if children love doing something, they're more likely to do it. If you enjoy doing something, you're more likely to do it. So we want children to enjoy math. We want teachers to enjoy math, because the more I enjoy something, the more likely I am to teach it. And even though they might say, oh, well, you only have to do math for 20 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day, if I love it, I'm going to pack that 30 minutes a day. And sometimes it might go over 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes because I love it. And the kids will know that I love it because it will come out of me. And so when children know that you enjoy math as a teacher, they are going to enjoy math. We hear some things about generation curses and passing things down from generation to generation. Well, we want to pass great things from generation to generation, right? And math is one of those great things that we want to pass down from generation to generation, that students love math and get more excited about math. And so they're more likely to engage in math. Also, our objective is to provide pre-service teachers access to a robust course offerings in early childhood math. And what we're going to share with you is awesome and robust. And you're going to be excited about it because we're excited about it. Learning to count and beyond, and beyond, and beyond, and beyond. That's the part about math that gets me so excited, because it's more than just, okay, they're 5 years old, they need to be able to count to 30. Oh, they're in first grade, they need to be able to count to 100. Oh, they're in second or third grade, they need to know multiplication. Math is so much more. It's just so much more. And like it was stated, I want to say from Dominique or someone stated earlier, it just leads to other things. And we know that in our Black and Brown communities, we need more people to go in the STEM and STEAM related fields. And it starts early. It starts with us teaching the younger children. So that's one of our objectives. So learning to count and beyond. And learning operations is crucial for children's early math learning. All of those operations. Addition, subtraction. Next slide, please.
Yes, there's a lot going on in chat, Elmida. Can you please check it and clue us in so that we can answer the questions? Thank you.
And learning measurements and data is crucial for children's early mathematics learning. So learning measurements. When we talk about measurements, when we talk about, well, how long is something? And we can measure things. We look at size, we look at shapes. All of that goes into math and learning about math. And what's important for us as a teacher about data is we're able to look and see what, oh, you know what? Because I know a lot of you are familiar with your DRDPs or other assessments. And you look at those assessments and go, a lot of my kids are scoring this in this area. Maybe I need to bump up this and do a lot more of this in the classroom. That's what we're going to talk about today in math. So addressing math anxiety of the pre-service teacher, we sort of talked about if we have math and we're anxious about math, it's going to transpose to our children being anxious about math. I'm going to tell you, as a teacher, when I was an elementary school teacher, I was anxious about art. Dr. Mina's great at art. But
I was not where I was.
Yes, I always had to feel like I need to be between the lines, and it was just, I need to be between the lines, and would stress myself out about art. It wasn't just free flowing. And I'm a math person. And so I like things structured per se, old school thinking. But now I'm thinking like, well, why didn't I just have fun in art? Why did I put so much restrictions on myself in art? And we don't want to put restrictions on children in mathematics, right? Mm-hmm. Anxiety of the parents with math. Think about it now. A lot of us we're still going through COVID, although we're coming out of it. Parents who have math anxiety, and now they've been one of the child's major teachers, right? Main teachers at home. And if they have math anxiety, then they're going to transfer that to the child. Or if I never learned geometry, and now I have an 8th grader at home that's doing geometry, how anxious and anxiety ridden am I? And really, maybe I didn't even want my child to know that I didn't know geometry. Right? Could be another issue, just saying. Or I didn't want him to know that I wasn't so great at math past addition and subtraction, division, multiplication, and some of the geometry or some of the algebra portions. So that can cause anxiety. So learn to count and beyond is crucial for children in early math learning, and learning operations we talked about is an early math operation. I think we slipped the slide.
Yeah. We did. And what I wanted to check in with Elmida, is there anything in the chat that people are saying that we need to be aware of?
I think that there's just a lot of agreement with, people are saying they love art. They're going along with our presentation, but I did include one resource, Why Math Matters, one of the handouts that was shared with us at the Institute in the chat. So folks have easy access to the PDF. And as LaTanga was sharing, I've also added in the resource about how to help families with the math process and just having a love for math, because we know children model the behaviors they see in the home. And it's very easy for us to throw our hands up and say, oh, I'm not good at math, I can't do math. But when the family members, whether it's the parents or older siblings, whoever is in contact with the child, I think it's really important that we set a very positive mindset so that children understand that this is integrated learning. It's math is part of everything we do every day and all the time, and that it's not a dreadful activity, but something that we can all enjoy and learn from. And as a parent of 2 young kids, I have a 10-year-old and an almost 14-year-old, I can say I totally agree with everything both of you have shared so far about why math is important, but especially during COVID, when our children haven't had easy access to their teachers and being in the classroom setting to learn. They have been leaning on their parents. They have been leaning on grandparents even, right? Like for support. And so this last PDF that I dropped in the chat has some helpful recommendations for families as well.
Yes, please download these resources. They'll go straight to your computer, and then you have this for reference. This is an interesting workshop. I was hesitant to be part of this workshop, but Elmida assured me that I could do it because I had a terrible math experience when I was young. And so we saw that, there's anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety as a teacher of young children when I was teaching math. I could teach children counting. Counting is easy, but the rest of the things like the algebra and the fractions, measurement and, those kind of things, I really had to lean on my teacher aide or somebody else to help me, because the teacher traumatized me when I was young, put me in the corner, and we do talk about that in the next slide here. Okay, so what happens here, if you've had an awful experience learning math when you were a child, you're going to shy away from teaching math. You're not going to really address it. Okay, so this is what we find. in my, I'm a college professor, so I do teach the classes that to do with curriculum. And I found out when I came to math as a professor, even myself, I would teach exactly what I knew. And then my students would come and they would confide in me and say, you know what, Dr. Rose, I'm having a terrible experience, learning math, even on a college level. I just don't like it and we have to pass it and I'm frustrated. I'm going to tutoring, nobody gets me. And I started looking into this and I started asking the professors who teach math on campus, could you give us baby math? I mean, just start, the beginning class, because that's what my students need. They had a bad experience and we need to correct this. Is there any remedial math? They say, oh no, these are the classes we have. These are the college classes. And I really felt bad. So, that I wasn't able to help them. But I did find some professors who were willing to do the remedial math with my students and they took it in their office hours. These are the superstar, professors. I call them my superstars. So, there are lots of students at LACCD who are taking math and we don't have high success rates in math, not as high as we want it to be. So, and we really believe it is linked, sorry, I've jumped a slide. We really believe it's linked to where our students came from. A lot of our students at LA Trade Tech come from, backgrounds that they didn't have all the resources. The equity gap was really wide. And so their schools didn't have those teachers that were really well-versed in math. Sometimes you go to those schools, and I have been to those schools because I came, from teaching those schools, first grade, second grade, in the after-school program I ran, and you would find that they don't have the resources. Then you go to another school district that has lots of resources in Calabasas, Santa Monica area, Beverly Hills. They have so many rich math resources and the parents are very much involved in the lab. The children are learning how to code and to program. And they're so, they're young and they're learning all these things. And so there's just an equity gap and we wanted to address that. So,
Dr. Maina,
yes, go ahead.
And Dr. Maina, in the chat, people are writing that they also have experienced math trauma. With
good.
With the red pen and the teachers putting a lot of red marks and you're getting all the red marks. So then what does that do to your self-esteem? I'm just looking at adding some of the things from the chat that people are talking about.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because I have felt so, just even me admitting as a professor that I still have math issues, and you see these in the bank when I'm arguing with the bank teller. And silly stuff, because I don't still understand some things like APR and things like this. You need math for daily life. And if you've had a bad experience, you kind of need to get help from people. So I have a date with my bankers every week to go over the bank statement because they need to help me, okay? This math was not my subject, but because of this early math institute with the research that Stanford and UCLA did, they really encouraged me to start looking at my math trauma and to start looking at where I could start helping other people. And this changed me completely because I was with people who love math. I mean, LaTanga Hardy loves math. This was her favorite subject. Mine was dancing and singing, and she was, when she was a little girl, was into math. So just being in a group with her, being in a group with Elmida, who has children, her children go for tennis, they play chess. There's lots of things that Elmida, has her children doing. And it's all math. A lot of it is math related because math is everywhere. Because of these two colleagues, I have been able to be more confident in my math skills. And it's just beautiful because Vygotsky says this all the time. It's a ZPD. My ZPD rose. So I'm kind of like, I'm good at math now. And I feel more confident. And that's why we're holding these this workshop to let people know, even if you've been traumatized, this early math research is just going to empower you because you realize you've been learning math culturally, all along in your life, but it was never recognized in the classroom. Okay. In my kitchen, I have my African wooden spoons, and on there, they're designs and patterns. This is cultural, that I could have related math that way. So many ways in our culture, math is everywhere around us, but they don't access those resources. When they're in the math class, it's so sterile. It's only this, and they don't incorporate the comprehensive side of math, which is your culture and what you bring. So Elmida is going to be going into that more, but I just wanted to address the trauma and, you know, what your family did around math. My father loved money. And so he always counted his money on the bed. You know, he'd just bring all the money and throw it on the bed, and I counted the money. So that was fun, counting daddy's money. And my mom was the opposite. You know, we always have money problems. So I never really liked money, and I didn't like math. So it was my father that I get, you know, a little bit of, you know, counting money was fun. And that's why I start with the children in my classroom. We count money, you know, and it's fun. So start with where you're comfortable with when you're in the classroom with children. That is my advice. So I'm going to move the slides, Elmida. This is a different way to do things, but here we are.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rose, for sharing from your experiences. I think that as educators, that's one of the main areas I think we don't get enough preparation on. I know that as faculty teaching future teachers, one of the most important factors that we discuss in our classrooms is when you're teaching young children, or really any student, really at any age or stage of development, always take into consideration the context that they are living in, their backgrounds, their experiences, the resources that they have access to. And so along with that, I'd like to share that for those of you who are interested in doing further research on early math and also learning more about early literacy, there are some great research articles available for you that we came across through the research that we did to prepare this presentation, but also with the Early Math Institute that we participated in. The very first one, early math experiences and understanding the great math achievement gap. I have included the link for you here, and I can drop it in the chat as well. And also the next one, reading early literacy experiences and understanding the reading achievement gap, which is provided to us through the American Academy of Pediatrics. So those are two really great studies if you wanted to check them out, and I will drop them in the chat. Next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get the next slide moving.
My dear colleague, Ms. LaTanga is going to touch on this one, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So for those early experiences, we have to consider, remember, we're teaching all children, and we have to think about in Southern California, we have a large dual language learner population. And so we want to make those math experiences for those dual language learners exceptional. And we want to make sure that we're transferring and translating things in their language, right? We want to make sure that we're using math language that they are aware of and that they can learn. And so as a dual language learner, right, they're going to be exposed to math, and people go, well, oh, it's just math. 2 + 2 is 4 in French, 2 + 2 is 4 in Farsi, 2 + 2. No, in math, math has its own language. So when we think about dual language learners, we have to think about how to best serve them. And so one of the experience I also had was working at Channel Island and going through the training to work with dual language learners. And part of it was their mantra is getting it right from the start, starting at the early years and getting it right from the start with their language, and their language in math is also important. So I just wanted to share with you guys a little about the English language learner and making sure that we are meeting their needs.
Thank you, LaTanga. That was awesome. All right, the resources, I believe, Elmida, are you going to take us to the website? Can I stop sharing now, but perhaps just go through the slide and then we can share the website, right? I can't.
Sorry, I had muted myself. I'm back. Okay, so yes, I will take us to the site, but I think it's a great idea to go over this particular slide before we move on to the website. I did drop the website in the chat earlier, and it's amazing. So using literature with children that support mathematical methods and procedures. is something that you will find in this amazing website as a resource, using videos to support teachers' preparation for teaching math. So especially for those of you who are new to teaching, or you plan to become educators later on, I think it's wonderful to see the fantastic examples and such diverse videos of children of all backgrounds that are represented in these videos, along with their teachers, who are showing us some different strategies, and then resources for supporting teachers who teach dual language learners. And I believe we have one more slide, right?
Okay, let me just, before we go to the website. Oh, we probably need to go to the website now. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then you can share your screen, Elmida.
Sounds great.
And then I'll keep track of the chat so that we can get questions answered.
Excellent. I am going to just take us there in 1 second. I was just there, and then I went to drop the website, I mean, the links to the articles, and then I lost it. Just 1 second, please.
And I also dropped the link inside the chat for those.
Yes.
Excellent.
So those of you who are on your computer, you can go check out the site, you know, just so that you can see the things. And if you have any questions, we can ask, you can ask us.
Here we go. Early math. Okay. All right. So this is the website we've been discussing through Stanford and UCLA, Development and Research in Early Math. Lots of great resources. If you click on all these different links, you'll learn more about, you know, for example, the mission of the program, you know, why they're doing what they're doing. There's a quick video about the project as well, and the network members and affiliates and so forth, and all these amazing researchers, some of whom we actually got to meet during our institute trainings. Projects that this organization has been involved with: early math resources for teacher educators, family math, math and beyond, preschool through elementary school, coherence. And then the area we really wanted to talk about with all of you today was the resources. And we know that at your own convenience, you can probably get into all these great links from the website and learn more about what's available. But so, for example, I wanted to just take you to the quick resources. Let's see, usually it's here, browse all. Okay, math snacks. That's not what I wanted to browse. Sorry. Can you still see my, screen? Okay, sorry. Sometimes I worry that when I change it up that you can't see what I'm seeing. Okay. I wanted to take us to the area where you can learn about all the different modules. Okay, so this is the modules for educators. For example, if you wanted to teach about counting, why and what of counting, there's lesson plans, there's videos, there's book recommendations, everything having to do with counting. Full list of resources, which is one of my favorite areas to visit, because this is where you can find a lot of the children's books, along with videos of real situations where teachers are teaching math and for ideas and so forth. Okay. So obviously I'm not going to go through every single one, but there was one video that I had shared at another training that I thought maybe I could pull up, but of course I don't see it now. But this is a classroom video. Let's see if we can make this work. Engaging a small group in counting collections. LaTanya and Rose, would it be okay if I share this? A little part of
Yes.
it? Okay,
Yes,
it's a short
because,
one.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's a short video, and what it does, it shows you how the teacher is sharing, the math teaching in the classroom. So we're going to talk about it very briefly, but once you see the video, just think about it,
Great.
and we can comment on it in the
Okay,
chat.
great. Thank you.
Oh,
Hello, so you can click on
Share
there's
sound.
under there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like before you're gonna share.
yeah, we can't hear this. When you share the video, there's 2 clicks for the sound and that are on there.
On your Zoom, if you click on them,
Yeah.
then you can hear the video.
Let me see where you are. Perhaps I can share it real quick if you can't.
Okay, so you can't hear it? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, let me try this again. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Just
So
go to.
what do I need to click on if I'm not
Okay.
clicking
Go
on the
back to
correct?
share screen. Go back to share screen. And
Maybe
then,
I need to pull it up again.
yeah, but there's 2 clicks at the bottom when you share the screen, and it says maximize the recording or something like that. So let me see where you
Share
are.
sound, I found it.
Yes. Okay, good.
Okay,
Perfect.
let's see if that works. Okay, it's not allowing me for some reason.
Yeah, there it is. Oh,
You
What
can
is
see it
that?
because I can't see it.
okay. Something else came up. Let me share the DREAM site. I have it open. I can
Okay.
do it and just, I hope to find where you are. So I'm gonna take back the screen sharing
Yes, go for it.
and go back.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also need to maximize, but let me find DREAM. There's this, I was in spatial relations
Okay.
because that was my weakness. So I was busy checking it out. So I'm gonna stop sharing real quick and then share the screen again and maximize. Whoops. Share sound, click that, optimize video clip. Cool. Okay. So Elmida, do you want to direct me where you were real quick, or you want me
Yes,
to
just
use the
go to
video?
resources,
Okay.
and it's for resources for educators.
Modules, right? You went to modules?
Yeah, resources for educators and then modules.
Yeah.
Actually, I went all the way to the bottom where it says full list of resources. Do you see that?
Full list of resources. I'm just seeing navigating this, website. So is it okay if I go into an area and show a video? Or did you want to show that particular video?
We don't have to do that one. I just thought that
Okay.
was a good one to share. And I just went to the full list of resources at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I
If-
don't have that on this one.
Okay.
I don't see it. So
That's fine.
why I'm
Then
gonna
click on counting and
yeah, most people do counting, but I want to go somewhere else.
okay, then yeah,
Because
it's
a lot
okay.
of us are good at counting. We want to see how the video of the little girl count, doing the patterns. So
Okay,
of you
yeah, you
remember
can click
this.
on patterns.
yeah, assessing patterns. There's a little girl who's counting right here.
And
Okay,
while they're doing this is just a great resource. You're going to have fun diving into this site and just looking at everything that it has to offer because it has so much to offer.
Were you
okay,
able to
hold
find
on.
it, Rose?
It's going very fast. Okay,
Uh-uh.
let me start it from the beginning. Everybody, can you see it? We're good?
Yes,
Okay.
Take a look at this.
perfect.
And I want you to use these right here. Can you keep it going? Can you add more? Can you use these right here and add more to the line?
Yellow, purple. Yellow, purple. Yellow, purple.
Can you add some more?
Yellow, purple. Yellow, purple. Yellow, purple. Yellow.
Awesome. That was pretty good.
Okay, so what can we say about the girl? If anybody was to say anything about her, What did you notice? Anybody out loud or in the chat? Yes, patterning. Thank you, Eileen.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a sign-in sheet? Okay. Pattern, yes.
Pattern. And the great thing about they were doing pattern in our what? Our Laker colors. Hello. There she's
Yes.
doing pattern in that yellow and gold.
Yes, Lakers. Real quick, just because people are asking me about a sign-in sheet, please go into the chat and add your first and last name and your email. And it's very important because we're giving certificates for your participation. We're at 3:48 and our workshop is about to end. And we are still got so much to show you. So Elmida, I'm gonna go back to sharing the screen so we can, we can finish this out. So,
Excellent.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, great. So I think I had finished this slide. So if you want to go to the next one. So part of the resources that we were sharing with you are also articles to support teachers and parents, latest research on early math, collaborations. This project has actually done, and I think it's ongoing, collaborations with LAUSD Early Education Division, where they're doing trainings with early educators. There are also conferences, workshops, and events for professional development. And of course, last but not least, books for focusing on teaching early math.
Yes, and just to quickly remind everybody, this is a workshop on early math, and the site that we just came from has lots of resources with so many videos. And the important thing about the videos is that you get to see how children process math. That little girl, she put it out and said, continue, but the little girl took charge of the situation and pulled those blocks back and then did it. So we have to allow children to process it their way, okay? Because a lot of times you find teachers saying, oh, no, let's do this way. But we want to allow children to show us what they know and to understand how they're processing the early math, okay? Because we don't know where the children are coming from, right? When they come into our classroom, some parents are working with their children at home. Some of them have been watching, the tablets and all the little cartoons and everything counting. We don't know what they're coming in with. So let them do it their way. So that's why those videos are important, and this resource is cool, okay? Really super cool. So many videos on children and their processes. All right, let's move on.
And the video also sparks ideas. So you might see this video and you're like, you know what? I'm going to take it and do this with it. And that's the great thing about watching videos and getting ideas from other educators, because it's like, how could I make this work in my classroom? How can I manipulate this for my class? Because my class needs extra of this or a little more of this. And that's what I love about this resource. It's a great resource and you can make it fit you and your class. And before I turn it over to Dr. Maina, and Dr. Baghdaserian, I just want to tell you, we thank you for attending our workshop, but if no one's told you already, there are lots of you are in here. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. We appreciate you early educators who are getting it right from the start, and being at a professional development means you're getting it right from the start. You know that teachers are always learning and improving, and you're just setting an example. And I appreciate you, and I'm sure I can speak for the other ladies. They so appreciate you. I'm sorry, Dr. Maina.
We do. Elmida, do you want to finish us out here? What matters?
Sure, absolutely. I'm happy to do it. So some of the pointers that we wanted to leave you with in terms of what matters in teaching in general, but specifically when we're talking about math preparation, is teacher preparation. If teachers go into the classrooms and they don't have the necessary skills and tools that are needed to be successful, then we, the teachers, are failing the children. Okay, so children and students don't fail, we fail when we don't do our part. So please continue to take advantage of professional development opportunities and having access to resources. It is up to us as educators to help families learn about the resources that are available in their communities. As a parent, I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly attending meetings that my children's school district is providing so that I can learn about ways that I can better support my kids. And I'm an educator myself, but obviously there's no cap to learning, right? We always want to continue to learn. Family support, connect families with each other, connect them to teachers, connect them with, I think that it's really important to understand that culture and, understanding the context in which families and communities are familiar with will make a very big difference in the way that their comfort level is shown in a learning environment. So try to bring people together, folks that can connect with each other and talk and share. Language barriers is one that's very big, and I know I can relate to this as an immigrant child and a child whose parents came here. I came here when I was 12, and my parents had struggles, not because they didn't have an education or college degrees from their countries, but it was because English was not their first language. And in fact, English is my fifth language. And so being a sixth grader and not knowing English and all the other languages that I knew did not matter at the time because I couldn't communicate with any of my teachers or my peers. So I know firsthand how difficult that can be, both for the child, but also for the family members who want to do everything they can to help their children be successful. But if they're not able to communicate in English, then that is going to be a barrier. And then the content that we're sharing, is the content relatable? Are these kids, being exposed to information that can support them because it's information they can relate to, or is it out of context? So we can't say enough about that. Next.
Thank you. There's so much going on in the chat. Dr. Hardy, were you able to catch some of it and comment on it before we move to the next slide? We are just out of time.
Lots of people are saying thank you, and they are loving the information and loving the site.
So the takeaways, okay? So 5 reasons math and reading are very important for school success. It's all to do with the self-esteem, concentration, critical and analytical thinking skills, communication, expanded vocabulary. Honestly, math is everywhere. It's in our daily lives. Our parents talk about money issues. They talk about all kinds of things, okay? And when you know something and you're good at math, it builds your self-esteem. Some of us have had a very low self-esteem because we weren't good at math, and they treat you differently when you're not good at math. When you're in school, in high school, I was treated differently. So my friends who were great at math had, self-esteem. They knew it, right? I love the fact that it says critical and analytical thinking skills. Elmida, do you have anything to say that? Because I know this was something that you wanted to talk about.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm obviously conferencing in from my home, and there's a bunch of things going on in the background. My kids are off school right now. Sorry about that. So just wanted to say everything you said, really, there's not anything in addition. Self-esteem builds, everything. I mean, it's everything. If a child does not feel confident and comfortable in a learning environment because they feel that they're behind in something or they don't quite get or understand something, then it's going to affect how well they do in school. And sometimes we even see behavioral issues coming out of this too, that, if the child is not engaged, if the child is not participating, if the child is feeling like they're just not up to par with where their peers are, then obviously this can affect their school success.
Thank you so much,
Sure.
and especially because this was a saying by the American Academy of Pediatrics. They said the 5 reasons math and reading are very important for school success. Math and reading, yeah. They used to say arithmetic and reading because they wanted it to be the 2 R's, the big R's, arithmetic and which is math and reading. So thank you. And I believe this is one of the last slides we're moving into. I got to move it out. This is a great resource that was written by the people that are part of the UCLA Stanford partnership. Young Children's Mathematics. We highly recommend you to get this book. It's found on Amazon, and it's written by one of our, the people that was our instructor, Megan L. Frankie, and I believe there are other ones associated with this, maybe the slide cut off, but quite a number of people wrote this book, and it has got such useful information. Dr. Hardy, do you remember one of the things that struck you about this book that you really liked?
I thought it was easy. I thought it was an easy read and very, very easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that was my takeaway. There
Yes,
was something very easy that you would want to read, and it was engaging.
Yes, and Dr. Baghdaserians, what did you get out of this book?
Well, again, it's what you and Dr. Hardy just shared. I think that it's a wonderful resource, but it also is very easy read and wonderful examples and resources for teachers and for parents. So
yes, I found it to be, thank you. I found it to be a good book for the curriculum classes that we teach as professors, you know, because it really gives a strong foundation of why math is important in those different areas. And it's related to the website also, and they have great resources in there. Okay, so let's move along. And if there are any questions, this would be a good time to ask us, but thank you for coming. These are emails. You may want to take a photograph of this so you can stay in touch with us. We'll be willing to come to your school or wherever to present this for you and you know, talk more about early math. It is a very important area. We have, you know, just last week, you know, I was at a faculty meeting, and this one person talked to us about strawberries being picked by robots, and it was all about programming those robots, and that needs math. So new careers are opening up. If robots are picking strawberries, that means the people who usually pick the strawberries have to learn new skills. So there's a whole new world that is coming out that's going to really depend on early math being a strong foundation for these skill sets. So we're going to stop sharing so I can see all the lovely faces of the people that came. 97 comments in the chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Just ordered the book. Oh my goodness, Mitchell, you really took action very quickly. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, great resources. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for coming. The book is about 30. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Some of my kids are not comfortable on the number line. I help them one by one. Okay, good. Thanks.
Excuse me, what's the book about again? I'm sorry.
The book is about early math, how to teach math in early childhood education.
Okay, thank you so much. And we're gonna get this recording, right?
Yes, the presentation is being recorded. And I did drop the name of the book in the chat as well, if you need that.
Yeah, there's a lot in the chat there. So just, you know, check it out. We've put resources in there. So thank you all for coming. I hope we got through all that you wanted to get through. So thank you, Laura. Thank you. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'm asking the question, what would you give us all, you know, for the presenters today and the content and what we shared? What would you give on the scale of 1 to 10? Thank you. We have a 5. Hooray. We appreciate that. And thank you. Some people are giving us 10. Oh my goodness, that's big. I only was asking 1 to 5. Can you imagine that? Wow, 100. Elmida, my God. 100,000. This is good. I love it. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming.
Rose, since we have some folks that have stayed until the very last moment, I think I'd like to give away 2 Starbucks cards. So for the first 2 people that put their name in the chat, you will get a Starbucks card from me. So
Okay.
first two.
It was
That's all I can
Jocelyn.
afford. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see. Who do we? So right after I said that,
I'm gonna
we
add
have-
2 cards more. So
Okay.
the first 4.
Okay,
Okay.
then make it 6. You guys put in a challenge.
Yay! Okay,
make
great.
it
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
so
6 people.
before we get off, so let's just make sure that we know who the 6 are.
Okay, so the
And,
first person to enter their name was Laura, I believe it was Jocelyn Martinez, because when what? Then Jocelyn came in, Laura and Kim and Donna
Okay.
and Dominique.
So if you all don't mind, let's make this really easy. Jocelyn Martinez and Laura Turner, I believe. Am I saying your name
Okay,
correctly,
hold
Laura?
on. Yes.
Please email me directly and I will send you the Starbucks card. So I'm gonna put,
You can give it to someone else. I don't go to Starbucks. I'm sorry. Give it to somebody else.
Okay,
Are you
good. We'll
sure?
give it
Who
to the
was
next
that?
person.
who was
I
that?
That's
didn't-
Laura.
I
Okay,
didn't-
Yeah. So listen, what we'll do after this, I'm saving the chat, Elmida, so we will split it up after that. They know that
Okay.
we'll keep a close accounting. Okay, is there
Okay.
anybody else who doesn't like Starbucks who's the first 6? You know, other than Laura. We know Jocelyn's okay with that. Jocelyn's okay, Kim is okay.
yeah.
Donna and Dominique, so we're adding Keely.
So Jocelyn Martinez and Kim Gale, if you could email me, I put my email in the chat. I'm just trying to make this as easy as possible.
Okay.
So that,
Good.
you know,
All right.
I can get it
You
out to
missed
them.
out, okay, so Jocelyn and who, Kim?
Yeah, Jocelyn and
Okay.
Kim will email me, and then the next 2 people will email you, Rose, and then
Okay,
the next 2 people
Donna.
will email LaTanya.
Yeah, Donna and Dominique, email me.
Okay, who should I email? Who should I email?
Yeah,
Heidi?
you're emailing Rose. My email is in the chat. I'll put it again.
What is
Maina?
who's the 5th one and the 6th one?
Okay,
who's-
hold on. I'm gonna
That's
get it.
Dr. Hardy, and she will put her email in the chat in a minute.
Yeah, and that we're looking at, let me go in the chat right now. Keely.
Sorry, I hope
and-
I didn't cause too much trouble,
Yeah,
Rose.
Okay, Keely and Tanisha Tigner. How do you say that? Tigner? Okay, those 2 for Ms. Hardy.
Yes, Tigner.
Yeah, okay, Tigner, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you, yay.
okay,
you.
yay, we got
We
it.
didn't want to send you all away with nothing.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you so much.
for
I'm
coming.
excited.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know.
Have
You-
a drink
I
on
put my
us.
email in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't know which one is Rose's email. Which one is Rose's? Who do I do?
Okay, I'm sending it. I'm gonna send it. I'm putting Dr. Rose,
Okay,
G
Dr. Rose.
Maina, and you've got it. Then make sure you email me and remind me, because you know, I'm running an entire business civic engagement pathway department. Lots of things to do there.
I'm
So,
putting mine in
Your
also
email, Dr.
again.
Rose?
sorry?
I don't see your email. Did you put in the chat box, Dr. Rose, your email?
Yes, I did. Did you see it? Do you want me to put it for the 3rd time?
Yes, because I don't see it for some reason. Okay, let me see. Maybe I'm on something else. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, I think. Okay,
Thank you guys for doing this. I appreciate it.
okay, there, do you
Thank
see
you.
Dr. Rose Maina there?
Oh,
G Maina?
I don't see
I'm
it.
probably close to the last.
Yeah, the last one I see is Hardy LG.
Yeah, lift up a
That's
little
me.
bit and you'll see me. I'm just before her.
No, I see Hardy LG twice. It's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna send it one more time, okay?
Did you see my
I'm
email?
gonna write it again,
Okay,
okay? Just look for it because I'm sending it one more time.
okay,
I never give up. Here it is.
okay. I took a picture of the last screen.
There.
Okay.
It's not
You
there.
see that?
No, it's not there. Let me see. Did you send it on the, was it on the?
Oh, you know what? I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the waiting room. No wonder you haven't seen anything.
Okay.
I'm in the
okay.
freaking waiting room. Everybody in the waiting room. No, but why is it not coming to everybody in the waiting room? Well, that's the only option I have. Let me look for you. It's Dominique, right?
No, it's Donna Dodson.
Okay. Let me send it to Dominique because she's one of my people. And then Donna. I'm looking for Donna, and I'm just sending you a private email,
Okay,
a
thank you.
private chat. There you go.
Got it. Well, I
right.
got it. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. We're
Okay.
16 people left. Do you have any questions for us? Anybody? Thank you all for coming.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
you may have another workshop to go for. I believe there's a 4 to 6 one or something.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you for
Bye-bye.
coming.
Thank you.
LaTanga
Thank you.
and Rose, do you mind staying on for a minute? Just so we
Yes,
can
sure.
do a little chat before we run off to our lives?
Yes, it'll be good. I was just gonna suggest
Sorry,
that.
you guys. I'm sorry I didn't think of it sooner, but you know, when these folks take the time and come and stay until the end, I just wanted to be able to do a little
Oh,
something.
that's no problem. You
Mhm.
just,
Yes.
I'm not a Starbucks person at all, but I'll go find out about it.
Okay,
Yay, Donna.
can I give you a quick tip? So if you just go, the easiest way is this, and I've done it several times, so that's why I'm sharing this. Just go to starbucks.com and then click on gift cards, and then it will ask you if you want to do like an e-card, right? And then all you really need is their email address. That's it. And you can choose the amount. So I'm going to send out 2 $5 gift cards, which is basically 1 cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Okay.
You know what I mean, right?
Okay.
So, so I'm going to do that.
Okay. So Claudia, and Heba and Kendall and Madeline and Margarita, we're saying bye-bye to you.
Yeah.
So please sign out. Thank you. Claudia and Madeline Wilson, thank you. We are waiting for Kendall and Margarita now, and Claudia. Some people may be on, you know, I may have to see.
Multiple events.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm removing.
You know what I'm doing? I'm removing them.
Yeah, just remove,
Mhm.
because we'll never get through this if we, you know, because some people
Yeah.
are
I think
on
it's
another
just us.
device.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just us now. So that's
Wow,
good.
that was a
That was
different
Thank you,
awesome.
workshop.
ladies. That was
Thank you.
great.
Can we stop recording, or did
Oh,
you
yeah.